this, I think, is what I tell my younger self.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't worry so much. Just keep moving forward.
I would tell myself, don't worry, calm down, and it will all work out as it's meant to be.
The best advice I've ever ignored was from a nun at the Catholic school that I went to high school at. She told me that I might want to reconsider going to college. And that really lit me up and put a fire under me to say, oh, I'm going to college. So I went to college and then I went to law school.
Early on in my career, I had somebody who became a mentor tell me, you can do 3 things at a time really well. And I resisted her. And now I look back many years later and say, Nancy was right. You can really kind of focus on 3 things and do them well.
After being in the legislature, when I'm out in the community and I see how that bill affects families in a good way, that brings me joy.
In supporting others, it's prioritizing spending time with people, whether that's younger individuals within Principal, whether it's younger individuals in the community, and helping them understand their potential and what they can actually do.
Been that person who was the only person, only woman, only Black woman in that room. It is very intimidating. And sometimes you just need that helping hand to go with you. So I tell people, I'm that person to help you guide through it.
I just love to be a force of encouragement in people. I love to uplift people and encourage them with a kind word. You have no idea what's going on in someone else's mind. And maybe that kind thing that you said turned their day completely around.
Good evening and welcome to our 2026 Women of Influence celebration. I'm Stacey Thompson, the Senior Director of Event Strategy for Business Publications, which is the parent company to Business Record and DSM Magazine. So it's great to see a lot of familiar faces tonight and some new faces joining us today to celebrate. So we're glad that you're here. Nearly 30 years ago, our founder, Connie Weimer, recognized that women across Central Iowa were leading organizations. They were driving innovation, strengthening businesses, and serving their communities in extraordinary ways. Yet too often, those contributions didn't receive the visibility or the recognition that they deserved. Connie understood that recognition matters.
Bank will introduce this year's honorees. And right now, it's my pleasure to welcome President and CEO Samantha Mosser to the stage.
Good evening. What a difference a year can make. Last year, I moved to Des Moines, and this was the first event I went to. This was actually the week I moved here. So it's so wonderful. Last year when I came, I think I knew the Bankers Trust faces in the room. And I'm happy to say this year, I think I know about 10 to 20% of the room. So I look forward to getting to know everyone else. But over the past year, my family and I have experienced support and hospitality from so many people within this community again and again, including several of tonight's honorees. So to all of you, I want to say thank you. As CEO of Bankers Trust, one of the things I'm most proud of is that we're first and foremost a community bank. I often say we're only as strong as the communities we serve, which is why supporting events like this isn't just something we do, it's part of who we are. For us, community banking is about investing in people, businesses, organizations, and gatherings like this. It's about making a difference in the lives of our neighbors, strengthening our communities by helping make our customers' financial dreams come true. And that's why it's important to recognize influence and impact. And every woman we're honoring tonight has made a difference in our community. But here's what else I know. They didn't get there alone. None of us do. I certainly didn't. The relationships we build with colleagues, community members, and clients are the foundation of how we find new ways to invest in the community, build trusted partnerships, and most certainly build influence. That brings me to the postcard at your place setting and the question, who has made a difference in your life? Consider this a nudge to write a note to that person. Perhaps they encouraged you, challenged you, or saw something special in you before you saw it in yourself. Imagine how they'll feel when they read your kind words. After writing that note, consider one more question. How might you make a difference in someone's life in this coming year? I'll close where I began. What a difference a year can make, and what a difference each of us can make. Congratulations to tonight's honorees, and thank you to the Business Record, our fellow sponsors, and to each one of you for making me feel so welcome in this amazing community.
Thank you, Samantha, and to Bankers Trust for sponsoring. We're also thrilled to welcome Homesteaders Life Company as a supporting sponsor this year. Homesteaders is a leader in the funeral profession and end-of-life space. Let's welcome Justine Bell, Chief Human Resources and Administrator Officer, to the stage.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. As Laura said, my name is Justine Bell, and I am the Chief Human Resources Officer at Homesteaders. So, on behalf of Homesteaders, I'm honored to be here with all of you tonight as we celebrate the incredible women who are being recognized as this year's Women of Influence. At Homesteaders, our mission is helping people design a better farewell, but at the heart of what we do is really about people. It is about showing up for families during some of the most challenging moments, serving our communities, and making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. That same spirit of service, leadership, and compassion is reflected in the women we are celebrating tonight. Women of influence are not defined only by their titles or accomplishments, although there are certainly many accomplishments in this room. They are defined by the impact they make. They lift others up, they create opportunities, they mentor the next generation, they challenge organizations to be better, they lead with courage, humility, and purpose. Those qualities are deeply aligned with who we are at Homesteaders. Our values are be your best, serve boldly, be humble, and care. And we see those values lived out every day by the leaders throughout our organization and across our communities. Tonight is especially meaningful for us because we have the privilege of celebrating one of our own board members, April Schmaltz, who is being recognized as a 2026 Women of Influence. April's leadership, dedication, and commitment to making a difference exemplifies what this award represents. She brings a thoughtful perspective, a passion for service, and a genuine desire to help others succeed. We are incredibly fortunate to have her guidance and leadership as a member of the Homesteaders Life Company Board of Directors, and we are so proud to see her recognized among such an accomplished group of women. April, congratulations on this well-deserved honor. Your impact extends far beyond the organizations you serve, and we are grateful for the example that you set. To all of tonight's honorees, congratulations. Thank you for the work that you do, the people you inspire, and the communities that you strengthen. Your leadership matters, and the influence you have today will continue to shape the future for those who follow you. Thank you to the Business Record, Connie, and for bringing us all together to recognize and celebrate these remarkable women. We are proud to be part of an evening that highlights leadership, service, and the power of women making a difference. Enjoy the evening, and congratulations again to all the honorees.
Thank you again to Homesteaders Life Company. I'm now happy to introduce our next sponsor, Prairie Meadows. Please welcome 2022 Women of Influence and Chief Operating Officer Julie Stewart to the stage.
So it's an honor to join you this evening as we celebrate the 2026 Women of Influence. Each honoree has found a unique way to make a difference. Some lead businesses, some serve the communities, others mentor, volunteer, and support those around them. Together, they are making Iowa stronger. To the business record, thank you for carrying on this tradition for more than 25 years, for recognizing women whose contributions deserve to be celebrated. And to this year's honorees, congratulations. Thank you for leading by example and for making a difference in ways that will continue to shape Iowa for years to come. On behalf of everyone at Prairie Meadows, we're honored to celebrate you. Enjoy this special evening, and congratulations to a well-deserved recognition.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you to all of our sponsors. Now let's get started with our honorees. The Women Business Owner of the Year Award recognizes an entrepreneur whose success exceeds beyond business performance. It honors someone whose leadership, integrity, and commitment to others have made a lasting impact. This year, we're proud to present this award to Courtney Perry, CEO of Lady Lex Scented Candles and Privacy, LLC. She's actively involved in numerous organizations, including Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Iowa, the West Des Moines Chamber, Women Lead Change, the Athene Black and Brown Business Summit. She also serves as a program manager for Iowa Juneteenth, coordinating the Neighbors Day event. Courtney mentors young women and Black youth, specifically co-facilitating the I Am Enough All Girls program to discuss self-empowerment and entrepreneurship. Perry is a leader who helps others succeed while serving as a role model for underrepresented communities. As Courtney makes her way to the stage, enjoy this video to learn a little bit more.
Don't be scared, first and foremost. The position I am in today, I never would have thought that I would be here. I'm definitely grateful and thankful. I was raised by my grandmother, who instilled in me everything that I have, everything that I am. If I was younger and tell myself something, I would tell just go for it. Go for it. Just go for it. Go for it. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who have had the pleasure of meeting me, hey, I'm Courtney Perry. Now, depending on who you ask, they may say I'm the candle lady or I'm the event planner, amongst others like an author, a published model, a business coach, a community leader, superwoman, as my daughter would have her me listed in her phone, or that woman who has 5 jobs at the same time. Honestly, some mornings I wake up and ask myself, what hat am I gonna wear today? The truth is, every hat that I wear has one purpose: to serve others, and of course, get that bag. Whether that's helping someone find a moment of peace through one of my candles, coaching a new entrepreneur as they take their first leap, mentoring a young person to believe in themselves and create spaces where communities can come together, I believe that every person deserves to believe in them and to guide them in the right direction. Standing here tonight is truly an honor. When people see an award like this, they often see success and accomplishments. What they don't see are the nights, the late nights, the disappointments, the sacrifices, the unanswered emails, the events that didn't go as planned, moments that I questioned myself in the prayers, Lord, just give me that next step. This award isn't proof that this journey was easy. It's proof that I did not quit. First of all, I want to thank God because he was the only reason I am still standing here today, and he made it possible for the grace and the direction. To my daughter, unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it today. Ooh, I said I wasn't going to cry. But I thank her for being patient as I work through building this legacy, because this I stand here today is just for you. To my significant other, my fans, my family, my mentors, my family, my community. Woo. Oh, goodness. Every single person who has supported me thus far, thank you. I would not be here in this position without you. I have invested my time. You've shared your wisdom. You spoke with me. You've definitely spoken in rooms that I've never walked in and reminded me to keep going. When they say it takes a village, I am the prime example of what happens when a village manifest works. Tonight, I want to leave you with a challenge. Let's come together as people and applaud success. Let's help create it. Support doesn't always mean writing a check, although don't lie, I'll take that check. But support also those as showing up, walking through the door of a small business, shopping at a local market, booking a service, inviting someone into a room that they have never been invited in, encouraging someone who quietly wondering if they belong. Don't wait until somebody gets that award, but show them right now. Support them while they're still loading that trailer. Lady Lex will be at the market fifth year in a row in front of Court Avenue Brew Company. Please come and see us. Support them while they're fighting the way to understanding if they will have the check for their next shipment. Support them while they're wondering if their dream will even come true, because support changes lives. I also want to give you another challenge. Our youth need you, especially in our underrepresented communities. Leadership isn't about holding on to those seats forever. It's about making sure someone else is ready when it's time to fill that seat. There is a young person waiting, and every single day they watch you. They watch you lead, how you treat people, how you celebrate people, how you handle a failure. It's what we want tomorrow's leaders to be: fierce, courageous, authentic, collaborative. They model who we are right now. Stop harboring your knowledge and expertise and you're staying in your comfort zone because your comfort zone is not theirs. Expand your reach in areas that need to be where they need to be. We all wish to double our lives. Imagine building an army of youth that can be just like you. So when you have enough confidence to slide that chair over, that person is ready. Influence measured by how people rise in time and pour into them. And you, for anyone sitting in this room tonight, as many that have done this journey, please hear me when I say this. Walk into any room with your head held high. Apply, start, raise your hand, take the chance. Be your authentic self because you deserve every seat that you have. Be resilient, have faith, have courage, create excellence. It's believing that your voice matters before the room even applauds you. Tonight, I stand here not because I had all the answers. I stand here because I kept showing up. This award is not my finish line. It's a reminder that there is still more work to do. So my last ask is for you. Hit me up. I'm a lunch gal. I love to have lunch. Collaboration is key. What happens when every person decides to become someone else's door opener? Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. It's different up here when you get a little teary-eyed. You gotta get yourself back together. But congratulations, Courtney. Our next honoree is our Emerging Woman of Influence. The Emerging Woman of Influence Award celebrates a woman who has already made a meaningful impact while demonstrating the vision, the leadership, and the character to influence what is next. Ashley Verriger, Senior Lead Advisor and Stakeholder at Foster Group, is this year's Emerging Woman of Influence. 5 years ago, Ashley joined Foster Group to help create and launch Select Wealth, serving as the expert voice in family governance, legacy planning, and advanced estate strategies. Ashley's influence is widened from client and family advising to firm ownership, program leadership, and civic responsibilities. Ashley also shares financial guidance through speaking and writing, podcasts, workshops, and community conversations. To quote Suku Radia, former CEO and president of Bankers Trust, in an industry historically dominated by men, Ashley has distinguished herself through her ability to advise sophisticated, multi-generational families with a level of professionalism, care, and expertise that is exceptional. As such, the Business Record is proud to present Ashley with the 2026 Emerging Woman of Influence Award. Enjoy this video.
Younger Ashley would absolutely not have believed that consistently showing up for your volunteer commitments, your personal commitments, your professional commitments is a true game changer. But 40-year-old me knows that it is an absolute differentiator and it is a defining strength. Good evening, and thank you for that very kind introduction, Stacy. A big thank you to Connie, Chris, Lawrence, Andrea, and the entire BPC team for putting on this amazing event. The work that you do to recognize remarkable women in our community is truly unparalleled. And to Bankers Trust, to Homesteaders, to Prairie Meadows, thank you for your continued support of women leaders. I'm Ashley Verriger, and I am beyond honored to be here tonight. And it would not be possible without two things. Number one, my husband, Carl, my best friend. I love you so much. And number two, the Arizona desert. 10 years ago, Carl and I decided to take a week-long trip to Arizona in January for all of the obvious reasons. We did some sightseeing. We ate at nice restaurants. Carl did some window shopping. My credit card statement informs me that I did a little more than window shop. Then we decided to try something new. Let's go on a 3-mile hike. We'll get out there in nature for an hour or two, see if we like it. And as we huffed and puffed up the mountain, something remarkable and totally unexpected happened. My mind went completely quiet. When you are hiking over rocks and uneven ground, you have to pay attention to every single step. You cannot mentally draft emails. You cannot replay old conversations in your mind. You cannot focus on your to-do list. When the real world would creep back in, it was at that exact moment that I would stub my toe or nearly roll an ankle. The trail will humble you real quick. And for the first time in a long time, I was present in the moment. The change of scenery certainly didn't hurt. Arizona and Iowa, they share the same blue sky, but the landscape could not be more different. Ancient red rock formations, giant saguaros. The only sounds that we heard were birdsong and the crunch of rock beneath my feet. After about the first 15 minutes on the trail, we didn't see another hiker the whole time. Thanks to the Arizona desert, I discovered that hiking could fill up a cup that I didn't even realize was running dry. And yes, there's a water in the desert joke there somewhere. 10 annual trips later, we go for 2 weeks instead of 1. We hike for 10 miles instead of 3. I look forward to this sense of peace and clarity all year, and I discovered it by pure accident because I was willing to try something new. Everyone in this room has important work to do. You all have people who are counting on you, but you cannot serve others well if your cup is empty. You must fill it back up with something. And you need time, both to discover what it is and then to actually do it again and again. For me, as you've heard, it's hiking in Arizona, ideally in January. For you, it might be reading in your front yard. It might be gardening behind your house.
It might be taking a yoga class with your friend at the studio down the street. My hope and my wish for you is that you not only discover what it is, but then love yourself enough to make room in your life for it, because you are absolutely worth it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ashley. Now we're excited to introduce the remaining honorees with the help of several remarkable women. Samantha and Laura will be joining us again, along with Executive Vice President, Chief Consumer Banking and Marketing Officer at Bankers Trust. It's the longest title. Emily Abbas, who is also a 2016 Emerging Woman of Influence and a 2021 Woman of Influence. So without further ado, please welcome back Samantha Mosser to introduce our next two honorees.
Thank you, Stacy. Life is amazing, and then it's awful, and then it's amazing again. And in between the amazing and awful, it's ordinary and mundane and routine. Breathe in the amazing, hold on through the awful, and relax and exhale during the ordinary. That's just living, heartbreaking, soul healing, amazing, awful, ordinary life. And it's breathtakingly beautiful. L.R. Knost. These words inspire Erica Axiotis, Foundation President at Unity Point Health, Des Moines. When she was just 4 weeks into her job, Erica was diagnosed with breast cancer, and through that, she has only continued to display resilience and leadership. Under her leadership, she has successfully streamlined administration, recruited new board members, and oversaw record-setting donations. Erica also served on the boards of several organizations, including the Junior League of Des Moines, the Young Women's Resource Center, the Drake National Alumni Board of Directors, among others. Congratulations, Erica. Let's watch her video as she makes her way to the stage.
My biggest strength is in being a cheerleader and an activator and rallying people around ideas. So one of my favorite ways to support others, other charities, other businesses, is to celebrate their successes.
Thank you, Sam. Congratulations to all the honorees. Thank you to the Business Record and the fabulous Connie Weimer. Thank you to Chris, Lawrence, Stacy, and the whole BPT team. Pillars of inspiration, like Connie Weimer, have long been a part of my life. Two of the biggest influences were my grandparents, Mary and Lyle. They were life enthusiasts. They operated at the speed of joy. They sent darling notes. When Grandma would run out of room, she'd go around the corner. They called to just check in. Their favorite was calling and singing Stevie Wonder's "I Just Called to Say I Love You." They were the type of people that would clap when you walked in a room. That's all you had to do. When I got my first job in healthcare, I overheard my grandma say to a friend, "She practically runs the place." I can assure you I did not run the place, but her pride always far exceeded my accomplishments. To experience that kind of pure love, support, the kind that comes from a very authentic place, is something that I hope we all get to experience, seek out, and extend to others. Find the people who delight in you and celebrate you, and be that person for someone else, maybe a lot of someone's. If I can use this moment for one community call to action, it would be to get engaged. One of the most powerful ways we can do that, of course, my passion, is through giving. Nonprofits carry people through some of the hardest moments in their lives. In healthcare, we see firsthand what becomes possible when donors choose to be part of our mission. Think of two names you know, two of my favorites, Blank and Stoddard. Their visionary generosity helped shape the Children's Hospital and Cancer Center our community knows today. But philanthropy isn't just built by well-known names. It's built by people who simply choose to help. We see it in our Shining Stars donors, where children give back to other children. We see it in first-time donors, monthly givers, and families making gifts of every size. Together, these acts of generosity change lives, strengthen our community, and impact generations. I'm so honored to be included amongst these women tonight, the remarkable honorees that have come before us. Thank you to our team at Unity Point Health for nominating me, my dear family, colleagues, friends, board members, my dear friends from Child Serve and Mercy One that are here tonight, and to my sweet husband that has gotten me through many years, especially a couple difficult ones. Thank you, you're amazing. To my parents who've gotten me so far, and if anybody is struggling with a college student that has picked one or two majors, please see my father, it works out in the end. If I could influence you to do anything, it would be the advice that I often have to remind myself, our team, and frankly, anybody that will listen. Be kind, be authentic, and celebrate others and their wins. If we all did a little bit more of that each day, imagine what we could do together. Thank you again for this amazing honor.
Congratulations, Erica. The next woman of influence is someone whose mission is to empower, educate, and elevate communities through meaningful storytelling and strategic media. Dwana Bradley, who unfortunately could not be here tonight, is the owner of Iowa Urban Media, which produces the Urban Experience magazine, This Is Not My Show podcast, and impactful social media campaigns. Dwana also served on the Des Moines Public School Board from 2019 to 2023, including serving as chair for 2 of those years. In 2015, she was entrusted with the stewardship of Iowa Juneteenth, celebrating a vital part of our state's African American history and culture. In the same vein, as executive director of the Des Moines Urban Experience, Dwana continues to lead through education, community engagement, grant development, volunteer leadership, and strategic partnerships. What inspires her is empowering women, which means believing in their potential, supporting them, valuing their voice, and encouraging them to follow their purpose. While we certainly miss having Dwana with us, we're grateful that her daughter, Nautica Bradley Norma, is here to accept this well-deserved award on her behalf. Let's watch a short video on Dwana before we hear from her daughter.
I just love people. I think God's greatest gift was giving us people, even though we have our differences. I think they're the greatest gifts. So I just love supporting people and being around them or doing whatever they need in any way, shape, or form that I can.
Alrighty, please bear with me as I am the emotional one in our family, and I am in awe of all of the women in this room and the women that are being recognized tonight. But I would have to say that this woman right here is the woman that I am beyond amazed by every day. And in fact, when I got here tonight, I had texted her and I said, I'm trying not to get emotional, thinking that you should get to be in this room tonight. For those who don't know, 2 weeks ago, my mom was in a car accident and she is recovering, but it is a transition for all of us. But we were so excited for tonight, but I'm beyond grateful that she's still here with us. But what she had said to me was that Although it's bittersweet, she couldn't think of anyone better to stand in her place. Now, ironically, if anyone knows my mom, she is a go-getter and she is constantly moving. So she actually wrote her speech 2 weeks ago. She's added a couple of different things in there, but I am going to read her speech that she was making edits on up until today that she sent me this morning. So here are my mom's words. Tonight I stand before you, incredibly humbled and deeply grateful to receive the Woman of Influence Award. Thank you to the judges, the organizers, the business record, and everyone who believed I was worthy of this recognition. To be included among so many remarkable women is truly an honor. I'll be honest with you, ever since I learned I would receive this award, I wrestled with this one question: what does influence really mean? Because if I'm transparent, life hasn't exactly felt influential lately. Since mid-May, my family and I have been living in a hotel after unexpected damage to our home. I lost my car insurance because of circumstances beyond my control, and I got into a car accident, and I've now lost my car because of it. I've worked tirelessly to build both a nonprofit and a small business, and like many entrepreneurs, I've sent emails that never received replies, made calls that never were returned, and wonder if anyone ever really saw the work. So receiving an award called Women of Influence has felt complicated. Then something happened. I stopped asking who thought I was influential, and I started thinking about who has been influential in my life. I thought of Bobretta Bruton, my elementary school principal, who showed up when I spoke at my church. I thought of Joyce Bruce, who faithfully sends me words of encouragement about the magazine. I thought about my mom. There is something about a mother's hug that reminds you that you are loved and valued. I thought about my dad. Watching him faithfully provide for our family year after year taught me that leadership is often quiet. I thought about my sister, the prayer warrior in our family. She prays diligently and fiercely for each of us. I thought about my daughter, who looked at me during one of my hardest moments and simply said, "I'm always going to be there for you." And I thought about my son, whose hugs and I love yous remind me that sometimes the greatest influence isn't found in a boardroom or on a stage. It is found in the people who never stop believing in us. Those moments remind me that influence isn't always loud. Influence doesn't always come with a title. It doesn't require a trophy. Instead, influence is often found in a conversation, a hug, a prayer, a text message, a word of encouragement, and a faithful example. Someone making you feel seen. That's the kind of influence that has carried me. Tonight, I want to leave you all with a challenge. Who will you encourage? Who will you mentor? Who will you introduce to someone who can open a door? Who will you sit down with simply to listen? Who will you help? Not because there's something in it for you, but because everyone deserves to be seen. Our world has become very good at dividing people. Politics divides us, social media divides us, assumptions divide us. But when we sit across the table from one another, we simply choose curiosity over judgment, generosity over competition, and collaboration over isolation, and there we discover something beautiful. We have far more in common than we think. If this award represents anything, I hope it reminds all of us that influence is not something we receive, it's something we choose every single day. Thank you, Kimberly Bates, by taking the time to nominate someone you didn't even know. You reminded me, and now you've reminded everyone in this room that influence begins with a single act of believing in another person. I leave you with this thought. Influence is not measured by the applause you receive, it is measured by the hope you leave behind. May we all leave hope wherever we go. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Nautica, for being here tonight. Arrange whatever pieces come your way. This is a quote by Virginia Woolf that inspires our next honoree, Deanne Cook, the retired president and CEO of the Iowa Women's Foundation. Deanne is recognized for a leadership career spanning 15 years in CEO roles, characterized by purpose, resilience, and community impact. She introduced the Alice Report to Iowa, which provided a voice for families facing financial instability and influenced policies regarding housing, healthcare, and childcare. Demonstrating a commitment to professional growth, she earned a master's degree in public policy at age 49 to better serve others. Her guiding principles are rooted in compassion and integrity, and her resilience is shown following a diagnosis of metastatic cancer, continuing to lead and mentor by finding inspiration in helping others overcome barriers and pursue their goals. Outside of her professional work, she is a dedicated partner and parent. Congratulations, Deanne.
The accomplishment that I think has touched the most people is being part of the coalition that passed the original birth certificate legislation in Iowa. There were 5 of us. We called each other the Girl Gang. We were all touched by adoption in our lives, and we made it legal for adult adoptees who've had their name changed since birth to get their original birth certificate. Thank you. Thank you. I want to shout out the Girl Gang. 2 of them surprised me tonight, so that was great. I always try to come from a place of gratitude, but it would take far more time than we have tonight for me to thank everyone who's earned my endless appreciation. So I will do an abbreviated version. First, thank you to Claudia from Iowa Women's Foundation for leading my nomination process. She is a former honoree herself and is working on great things at IWF. We should all keep our eye on that organization. I think they're going places. I'd also like to thank everyone who wrote such heartfelt nomination letters on my behalf. I was truly touched by your kindness and support. Of course, a big thank you to Des Moines Business Record for this recognition. I am so amazed to be in this class. And I want to particularly shout out Erica and Mary. Our time together at the Junior League of Des Moines overlapped, and I still carry with me today lessons I learned from our work together there. And thank you to Connie Weimer for having the vision 25 years ago to begin this special recognition of women's achievements. I know the younger women in our audience are accustomed to women being lifted up more often now, but that has not always been the case. Connie's commitment to women of influence has paved the way on which many recognition programs now stand. Finally, I stand here humbled, thanks in large part to the work of many Alices behind the scenes in our community. Those people who know me well will know if you give me a podium and a microphone, I'm going to give you a United Way Alice lesson. Alice is an acronym that stands for the 40% of Iowans who can't meet their basic essential needs in their home despite working, earning, and paying taxes. At different times throughout our family's life, Alice has provided childcare, cleaned our home, shopped for our groceries, prepared our meals, and done many of the tasks that allowed me to be able to do the work that I've done. I thank them, and I encourage you to think of the roles Alices have played in your lives. We weren't given a lot of guidance on how to approach remarks tonight, but we were encouraged to share some advice that may help other women find their powers of influence. It's kind of intimidating to give advice in a room full of influencers, but whenever I feel overwhelmed or the imposter syndrome strikes, there are 4 pieces of jewelry that I wear that make me feel stronger and remind me who I am. I am wearing my L necklace because business record readers will know that my name given to me at birth was Laura. It didn't become Deanne until 2 weeks later when my adoptive parents met me for the very first time. So I wear this for baby Laura, me, born at Iowa Methodist 57 years ago yesterday with literally nothing, not even a family. And here I am tonight about 7 blocks away from that hospital, here in a room with hundreds of you who both honor and inspire me. That's a pretty good run. I'm proud of that journey. Don't forget where your story starts doesn't determine where it ends. Every story unfolds entirely due to the people and experiences that change the trajectory of the plot. Obviously, for me, lucking into outstanding adoptive parents to raise me was my start, and I wear their wedding rings as a reminder of that gift. When my mom, who's over there, found out about Women of Influence, she said, "Oh, that's all your dad's doing." But I disagree. My mom never told me not to be so bossy or remember I was a lady. She didn't shush me or criticize me, and I don't remember her ever commenting negatively on my appearance. She let me be 100% me and didn't expect me to hold anything back or focus on superficial concerns because of my gender. She was my first cheerleader and taught me that leading and speaking out are positive things. She nurtured me and encouraged me to pay my gifts forward so I too could be a positive catalyst of change to other people's stories. Throughout my career, I have tried to use my unique skills to make a difference in as many lives as possible. Women and girls, childcare providers, Alice families, fellow adoptees, and cancer fighters. To remind me of my mission, I'm wearing a bracelet that says, "Be brave. There are people rooting for you." I wore this almost every day in the Iowa Capitol and every time I talk about Alice to know that I am sharing the voices of many. Sometimes you have to live through the story first to make it easier for others to follow. Finally, I am wearing another bracelet that includes the birthstones and initials of each member of our immediate family: Colin, Troy, Leo, Deanne, Carly. That's not the order of most favorite to least favorite. That's just the birth month order. I will keep welcoming additions to this bracelet as long as I'm here. It's a reminder of what Robert Frost said were the 3 words he learned about life. It goes on. Make your mark, try to make your life count, and know you will carry on in a million stories by those who you touch. Preparing for tonight has been a moving opportunity to reflect back and consider the legacy I will leave, probably a little sooner than I had expected. But during this process, I had the beautiful realization that everything baby Laura hoped for and little Deanne dreamed of has come true. My story has many more chapters already written than those yet to come, but what I can tell you from reaching this place in life and what I charge you to consider is sitting here doesn't make me say, "Yep, check those things off." It makes me say, what if I had dreamed even bigger? Thank you.
Congratulations again, Deanne. The next honoree is Susan Fitzsimmons, General Counsel of Empire National Incorporated. Throughout her career, Susan has broken barriers in traditionally male-dominated industries, including transportation, development, and insurance. She has consistently paired exceptional legal expertise with visionary leadership, earning the respect of colleagues, clients, and communities. In her nomination, Shannon Caulfield describes her as thoughtful yet straightforward, strategic, inclusive, and uncompromising in her principles. These are qualities that have defined an extraordinary career and lasting legacy. Susan is committed to service, serving on boards of the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines, ChildServe, Mercy One Foundation, and the Avenues of Ingersoll and Grand. While at Christensen Development, Susan helped bring to life the Center at 6, a mixed-use development that includes a nonprofit business incubator supporting underrepresented entrepreneurs. Susan exemplifies what it means to be a woman of influence, not only through her professional achievements, but through the opportunities she creates for others to succeed. Congratulations, Susan.
My favorite way to support others in the community is to roll up my sleeves and help, and to look for ways to plug in. Most recently, I've been really proud to be involved with Center at 6, which is a nonprofit business incubator for underrepresented and underserved entrepreneurs.
Thank you for that very kind introduction. Thank you to the Des Moines Business Record for recognizing women of influence in our community. Thank you, Connie Weimer, for all that you do to elevate women. Thank you, Shannon Cofield, for nominating me, and thank you to the friends and mentors who took the time to write letters in support of my nomination. I also want to congratulate my fellow honorees. It is such a privilege to be recognized alongside such accomplished women, leaders who have broken barriers, strengthened our community, and set extraordinary examples through their work. I'm honored to share this recognition with you. I'm also especially grateful to my family. Their love, encouragement, and unwavering belief in me have made all the difference. I grew up surrounded by remarkable women, especially my mom and my sister Mary, who is here with me today. I'm not going to get emotional. Okay, they taught me what it means to work hard, to lead with integrity, and especially to persevere. And their example has shaped my life. So back in 2013, I was serving as general counsel at Ruan. I loved my work, and I felt very fulfilled personally and professionally. And around that time, I accepted my first invitation to attend this very event. And I had no idea how profoundly it would change me. As I listened to the remarkable women being recognized that year, I was inspired by what they had accomplished professionally. I was inspired by their ambition and by the many different ways they had chosen to lead. I left that event feeling humbled and motivated. For the first time, I realized that while I had built a fulfilling life and career, I had the capacity to make a greater impact. Soon after the event, I walked into then CEO Steve Chapman's office and I said, "Steve, I want to become more involved in this community. I just don't know really where to start." He asked me a simple question. He said, "Okay, Susan, what are you passionate about?" And at that point, beyond my family and my career, I didn't have a great answer for him. Well, he encouraged me to figure that out. And then he encouraged me to say yes to some opportunities that stretched me, even a few I wasn't sure I was ready for. He opened doors. He introduced me to organizations like the Mercy One Foundation where I could serve, and he gave me advice that I've carried with me ever since. He said, "Don't ever join a board that you're not willing to one day lead." As I became more involved in our community, I had the privilege of learning from extraordinary women of influence along the way. Some who have stood on this very stage, others who no doubt soon will. I'm honored to call them friends and mentors. They have inspired me, challenged me, and broadened my understanding of what leadership can look like. I've kept coming back to this event over the years, and every year it fills my cup. The women who have stood at this podium have inspired me to keep leading, to keep growing, and to keep showing up. That's why this recognition means so very much to me, because it comes from this community of women whose leadership has inspired me for years. From their example, I've learned that leadership doesn't follow a single path. It grows wherever we're willing to invest our talents, pursue our passions, and have the courage to make an impact. I'd like to close with a word to my daughter Iris, who's attending this event for the first time today, sitting in a seat much like the one I sat in back in 2013. Use your talents boldly. Say yes to opportunities that scare you a little or even a lot. As we like to say in our house, it is uncomfortable outside your comfort zone, but step outside it anyway. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and mentors who will challenge you to grow. And remember, your path doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Find where your talents, your values, and your courage come together, and that's where you'll make your greatest impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Now joining us on stage to help us introduce our next two honorees is Emily Abbas.
I'm honored to introduce our next woman of influence, Shelley Hare. Shelley is president of Musco Lighting. And one quote that inspires her is, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go farther, go together." That philosophy reflects the way that she leads and how she's guided her career. During nearly 40 years with Musco, she has risen from an administrative role to president, demonstrating that great leaders are built through hard work and a willingness to grow. Shelley's impact extends beyond her company, and her commitment is evident even in the small details. And I even have an example. She drove 55 miles in the morning, on Friday mornings, to attend 7 a.m. partnership board meetings. And she was consistently one of the first people there. And those details matter. And I can attest she was there because I served on that board with her. She's equally devoted to her hometown of Oskaloosa, and she served as president of the school board there and has championed many efforts that have strengthened that community as well. Shelley leads by bringing people together and creating opportunities for those around her to succeed. Congratulations, Shelley.
Supporting others just from a personal standpoint, I'm a good listener, and I like to just support folks by being encouraging and listening to them. Tend to be like most proud about folks that I work with, and the organization I work for is a great organization that gives back to the community, as well as be a great place to work.
Well, thank you and good evening. First, I am just honored to receive this recognition and to be standing along such incredible group of women here. When I look around the room, I see leaders, I see mentors, innovators, community builders, and people who have dedicated themselves to making a difference. So it's very humbling to be included among you. And I want to thank the Business Record as well for this honor and for those who nominated and supported me along the way. But the truth is, awards like this may have one name attached to them, but they're never earned alone. And as I thought about what I wanted to say tonight, I found myself thinking about, where did my journey begin? Nearly 40 years ago, I walked through the doors at Musco as a temporary employee, right? At that time, I wasn't thinking about a career. I certainly wasn't thinking about leadership. And I wasn't imagining that one day I'd have the privilege of being the president of the organization, right? But what I found there was pretty special. What I found were people who believed in me before I fully believed in myself. So I found leaders who gave me opportunities, trusted me with challenges, and encouraged me to keep learning. And those opportunities led me from the marketing department into human resources, operations, and eventually leadership roles that I never thought I'd imagine. Now that experience taught me something that's really stayed with me. When you invest in people, amazing things can happen. And some of the greatest satisfactions in my career haven't come from titles or positions. It's come from seeing people discover their potential and accomplishing things they once thought were beyond their reach. Now, I grew up in small town Iowa in a large family. Both of my parents owned small businesses, and we all had to pitch in. We were a team. It was required, right? We learned the value of hard work, service, curiosity, and helping others. My parents taught us that success isn't measured by what you achieve for yourself, but by how you help others along the way. And that lesson remained as a guiding principle in my life. I've also been fortunate to serve in my community in education, economic development, and other local initiatives. And I found the same principle holds true. Progress happens when people come together, listen to one another, and work towards something bigger than themselves. Now, when I hear that phrase, women of influence, I don't immediately think of titles or positions. I think of people. I think of a mentor who takes time to encourage somebody, a teacher who helped a student believe in themselves, a parent who help teach lessons that last a lifetime. So influence to me is found in the small moments that create lasting impact. Tonight, I do want to thank all the people who've influenced my life, especially my family, my colleagues, my mentors, and the communities that have given me the opportunity to serve. And I guess last thing, for those of you maybe just getting started in your careers, I'd leave you with this thought. Don't underestimate where a single opportunity can lead. A temporary job can become a career. A challenge can become a breakthrough. A conversation, a lifelong relationship, and a willingness to keep learning can open doors that you never knew existed. So again, thank you for this award, and congratulations to all tonight's award recipients.
Congratulations again, Shelley. It's my privilege to introduce our next woman of influence, Mary Madison. Ooh, she's got a cheering section. All right, the thread connecting every chapter of Mary's life is a simple but powerful commitment, showing up where the need is greatest. More than 2 decades ago, Mary founded Children and Families First, a nonprofit dedicated to strengthening families through counseling, life skills, and coaching, as well as health initiatives. And they had a very special focus, which was on underserved communities. In 2022, Mary was elected to the Iowa House of Representatives, serving in a legislative body where women, and especially women of color, remain underrepresented. Her commitment to service extends well beyond the Capitol. She's an active member of several organizations, including NAACP, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, the Links, among others. And she reflects a belief that change happens through community and through collaboration. Mary Madison exemplifies what it means to be a woman of influence. Congratulations.
When you see the need and you're able to help, there's so many little things that you can help people do. And sometimes you think it's a big one, but the little things tell them that somebody's caring for them and that they matter. And then you get gratified because you're doing a little something, what you can do. Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to be here tonight, and there's so many people to thank. I want to start by thanking the Business Record and the staff and Connie Weimer, and to all the women receiving this recognition tonight. It's an honor to stand with you. And to my family, who never lets me go anywhere alone. Even if they're not with me, their spirit travels with me, their confidence travels with me. And so I thank you for the love and support that has enabled me to just stand here before you tonight. I'm part of the Gullah heritage, a people who were brought to South Carolina, the Sea Islands, stripped of almost everything, and who still found a way to keep their language, their faith, and their stories alive for the next generation. The Gullah Geechee people understood that the present moment is never just the present moment. They didn't wait for permission to preserve what mattered. They spoke it, they sang it, and they stitched it into the next generation because they knew that what you tend to survive, if ignored, will disappear. The same God Spirit that carried the ancestors through every trial, through every success, lives in each one of us. It lived in Robert Smalls, born enslaved in Beaufort, South Carolina, where I was born. When his moment came, he didn't wait for permission or for someone else to act. He sailed a Confederate steamer through occupied waters and delivered himself, his family, and his crew to freedom. For the rest of his life, turning that freedom into something lasting, fighting so that formerly enslaved families could own the very land that they once were forced to work. He built schools and served in the South Carolina state legislature, and for 5 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives as a lawmaker. He championed public schools and successfully fought to establish Parris Island Naval Base. I believe influence is not a title or an award on a shelf. It is what happens in the rooms where decisions are made. It is raising your hand in support of colleagues or families who are not in the room. It's naming injustice before it becomes tomorrow's headlines. Every time we decide an issue is not our problem today, it becomes someone else's unbearable inheritance tomorrow. So I'm asking each of us within your sphere of influence, myself most of all, to keep speaking. Speak for the children who can't vote yet on the policies that will shape their lives. Speak for the communities like the one I come from, whose histories get quietly erased unless someone insists on remembering and repeating out loud. My ancestors didn't have a stage or a platform. They had a porch, a field, a hymn, and each other. Like Robert Smalls, they had the courage to act when the moment demanded it. If they could shape the future with so little, imagine what we can do with the platforms in our lives. With our voices, with each other, let us use that simple, stubborn decision to speak up for what matters in the world. Again, thank you for this honor. I receive it not as a finish line, but as a charge to keep, so that what we build today is worthy of the generations to come. May God bless you all, and thank you.
Congratulations, Mary. Thank you, Emily. One word that perfectly describes our next honoree, April Schmaltz, is multiplier. A multiplier doesn't just achieve results, they expand what's possible through others. April is the 4th president and CEO in Delta Dental of Iowa's 50-year history and the first woman to hold the position. She leads with confidence, integrity, and a clear sense of purpose, proving that exceptional leadership is measured not only by results, but by the positive impact made on the peoples and community that you serve. With more than 25 years of executive experience spanning healthcare and financial services, April brings strategic vision, sound judgment, and an unwavering ethical compass to every decision. Her ability to balance strong business performance with a people-centered leadership style has earned her respect through colleagues and made her a trusted voice throughout Iowa's healthcare and business communities. April generously shares her time and expertise through leadership roles with the Healthiest State Initiative, Every Step, and the Global Insurance Accelerator, amongst others. Along with her many professional accomplishments, April's greatest strength may be the way she serves the people she loves. She's a devoted wife, mother, and a friend who can often be found cheering on her children from the sidelines. April's leadership has multiplied many opportunities and inspired countless people to lead with purpose and compassion. Congratulations, April.
Yeah,
strengths are hard. For me to talk about myself personally, perhaps that's one of my strengths, right, is putting other people first. I really pride myself in really trying to lift others up. I think that's an important thing from a leadership perspective, to really try to find the positive in them and help them succeed.
Well, good evening, everyone. Before I begin, I too want to take just a brief moment and recognize all the honorees. Wow, you guys are incredible. It has been so fun to sit in the crowd and just listen to all of your experiences. I also want to thank the BPC team, Connie, Chris, and team. You all have built something truly meaningful. And Connie, you are a wonderful example of what it means to be a woman of influence. And I am grateful for the opportunity to be part of this evening. To be recognized as a woman of influence is an incredible honor. And as many have said, the truth is influence is never created alone. It is shaped by the people who love us, encourage us, challenge us, and believe in us, often long before we believe in ourselves. And as I reflect on this moment, I am reminded, again, that none of us arrive at our successes by ourselves. Behind every achievement, every challenge overcome, and every goal accomplished, a village of people who have lifted us up when we needed it most. So first, I want to thank my parents. I have certainly appreciated all the emotional people because I do wear my life on my sleeves and I am not going to stand up here and apologize for getting emotional. So Mom and Dad, thank you. You have taught me the values that have guided every decision I've made: hard work, integrity, resilience, and kindness. Long before anyone ever saw potential in me professionally, you saw it in me personally. You taught me that character matters more than titles, that perseverance matters more than perfection, and that the way we treat people matters. And that is our greatest legacy. So thank you for believing in me, for encouraging me to dream big, and for reminding me that success means very little if it is not grounded in purpose. Matt, my husband, thank you for being my constant. Leadership can be demanding. They're long days, hard decisions, and moments of doubt that most people never see. Through all of it, you've been my steady place. You've celebrated every victory, and you have taken on more than your fair share at home. If influence is measured by impact, then your influence is undeniable. Your unwavering love, partnership at home, while holding a successful career of your own, have allowed me to show up fully in the work that I am called to do. And I am grateful every day that I get to walk through life with you. Jack and Lauren, those are my children, also here tonight. You inspire me more than you ever know. I hope that when you look at my journey, you see more than achievements. I hope you see the importance of showing up, working hard, treating people well, and pursuing your dreams with courage. Thank you for sharing me with my work, for your patience, and for keeping me grounded with your love, your laughter, and your perspective, and for not giving me too much of a hard time along the way, at least most days. You are my greatest joy and my proudest accomplishment. Kathy and John, my mother and father-in-law, also came tonight. Thank you for welcoming me into your family nearly 25 years ago. Thank you for the encouragement, support, and love you have given me and your family. See, families are our first experience with influence, and I'm so grateful for the foundation you all have helped create. I also want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to my colleagues and our board members, past and present. We have 3 full tables here tonight. Leadership is never a solo endeavor. Every accomplishment is the result of talented people coming together around a shared purpose, challenging one another to think bigger, innovate further, and achieve more than any one person could do alone. And I am fortunate to work alongside people who bring passion, excellence, and a heart to everything they do. You all make me better. To those who nominated me, you know who you are. Thank you. There are so many deserving leaders making a difference in our communities, many that we heard from tonight. And knowing that someone saw value in our work and believed I was worthy of this honor is something I will never take for granted. So I'll leave you with this tonight. I have a full heart, and I recognize that this recognition is not something that belongs only to me. It's about the opportunities. It is a reflection of all the people who have invested in me, believed in me, and loved me. See, influence, as many have said, isn't about a title. It isn't about recognition or accomplishments. It's about the opportunities we create for others. It's about using our voice when it can help someone else find theirs. It's about lifting as we climb. And everyone in this room has the power to influence. You influence your families, your teams, your communities, and sometimes you may not even realize the impact you're making because it happens in the quiet moments. In a word of encouragement, in a difficult conversation, in a decision guided by courage instead of fear. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, or there are going to be obstacles that feel larger than the opportunity. And in these moments, remember this: you do not have to be fearless to move forward. You simply have to be willing. See, growth happens, as you also heard, outside of comfort. Leadership happens when we choose courage over certainty. And influence happens when we use our gifts in service of something bigger than ourselves. So never underestimate the power of your example. Someone is watching how you lead, how you persevere, how you show kindness, and how you rise after setbacks. Your influence may reach further than you will ever know. So lead with purpose, act with courage, extend grace generously, and never stop believing in the difference you can make. Now go make someone smile. Thank you.
One quote that reflects our next honoree, Deanna Strable, comes from Coach John Wooden. You can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. Strable joined Principal in 1990 as an intern and an actuarial assistant. Through talent and determination, she rose through the organization and in 2025 became Principal's 16th CEO, the first woman to hold the position in the company's 147-year history. Throughout her career, she has championed talent development, helping establish leadership opportunities for women at Principal while fostering an environment where people of every background can have the opportunity to learn, grow, and excel. Her leadership has helped make Principal one of the nation's most consistently gender-balanced leadership teams as well. Deanna also serves as the vice chair of the Greater Des Moines Partnerships Board of Directors, is a member of the Iowa Business Council, and is on the board of Elevance Health, Simpson College, and the American Council of Life Insurers. Through her service with the Greater Des Moines Habitat for Humanity Women Build Initiative, United Way, and the Principal Charity Classic, she continues to make a meaningful impact in our community every day. Deanna's legacy can be measured by the people she has inspired, the leaders that she has helped develop, and the communities that she continues to strengthen day by day. She exemplifies what it means to lead with purpose and vision. Congratulations to Deanna.
Early on in my career, I had a lot of people in my ear telling me what work-life balance was. And I had to come to the conclusion that I had to define that for myself versus letting others define that for me. I wish my last name started with A. Thank you. What an honor to be here tonight in a room full of people that have shaped our community in so many incredible ways. I know I'm the 10th honoree to speak tonight, which means I'm facing two realities. First, all of the women before me have already been inspiring, gracious, and eloquent. And wow, what wonderful experiences they shared. And second, the probability that I'm going to share anything completely original has dropped significantly. Fortunately, I've trained to work with unbelievable odds. I believe I'm the only actuary in the group of honorees. I actually thought I was going to be the only actuary in the room, but I've seen a couple here already. So I feel a responsibility to begin with a statistical perspective. One thing actuaries learn early on is how to think about the likelihood that a particular event might occur and what factors could change the odds. People like me are wired to see situations through probabilities, patterns, and assumptions. And when I think about my own story, the following comes to mind. A girl raised in rural Iowa, where people didn't talk much about influence, but where those same people taught you a lot about showing up and treating others right. A small town kid learning early in life what it feels like to be a little different and why belonging matters. A first-generation college student. Taking that data into account, the probability of that young girl becoming a woman of influence might not have seemed very high until you factor in the most important variable, a community of people who saw something in that young girl before she knew how to see it in herself. In other words, the odds of becoming a woman of influence increased because of the people who influenced me. I'm a sympathy crier, so it's not good that everyone else was doing that as well. First of all, my parents, who gave me a strong foundation, strong expectations, and access to extraordinary education. My high school math teacher, who showed me there were options in the business world for someone that liked math. Mentors and teammates at Principal who taught me the business, trusted me with hard problems, and had the courage to tell me how I could grow and develop. Community leaders who showed me that leadership is not about titles, but about using that influence you have to leave something and other people stronger than you found them. And most importantly, my husband and children, who have been my home base through every chapter, and the real reason I do what I do and why I help others excel. So tonight, I accept this recognition with humility, gratitude, and in tribute of all the people who influenced me by investing in me, challenging me, loving me, opening doors for me, and sometimes pushing me through those doors before I was ready. You've already heard from others that with this recognition comes responsibility. Because if influence is real, it should not stop with us. It should multiply. It should move through us. The young woman sitting in the back of the room who is still deciding whether she belongs. The first-generation student wondering if there's a place for them. The working parent trying to excel at work while being present at home. And the leader who is ready for the next step, but needs encouragement from a trusted voice. To all those incredible women being honored tonight, congratulations. To the people who have influenced me and continue to do so, thank you. And to anyone wondering whether the odds are in your favor, I'll say this from my own personal experience. The assumptions change when people believe in you. And they change even more when you just decide to believe in yourself and then pay that belief forward. Thank you.
Congratulations again to all of our honorees. You can read more about them in the publications you found on your table. Thank you again to Samantha Mosser, Emily Abbas, and Laura for helping us introduce tonight's honorees. Thank you again to our sponsors, our team, and the past honorees in the room. Thank you all for being a part of a community that believes in recognizing leaders and celebrating the people who make Central Iowa stronger. It was evident by Susan's words that she was inspired in this room years ago, and that is exactly what the recognition Connie thought was important happened. So that is why we're in this room. So thank you all for being here and supporting the initiative. We'd like to continue that conversation on October 22nd. We hope you mark your calendars to join us for our Fearless Forward event, or Power of Fearless event, an interactive experience designed to help empower women in the companies and allies who support them. So we hope we'll see you there in October. Now it is my privilege to introduce the woman whose vision started this all, the ultimate woman of influence, we've all recognized for many good reasons, Connie Weimer.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. First of all, of course, I want to congratulate the honorees tonight. They have made a tremendous difference in this community, and in some cases nationally, and in some cases internationally. And what they do and the messages they sent are very, very, very moving. So thank you for what you have done and what you are doing. Of course, I want to recognize and thank the sponsors without whom this couldn't happen. And I'm so grateful that it does happen. And then I want to thank all of you for being here tonight and honoring these very, very special people. I was going to close with just a quote that's special to me, but I have to talk a little bit about history. When I sit here and think about what this was 25 years ago, some of you have probably heard these comments before, but 25 years ago, we didn't have any women CEOs in Des Moines. We didn't have women that were recognized. And yet, as I lived my life, I saw all these women who were doing all this work and making a huge difference. And yet, when it came time for an award, it was usually a white male that stood up and accepted the award. And so we decided that we would create this event, and to see how it has grown and the difference that the women have been making in our city and in our country is just so amazing and so gratifying. So one more round of applause for And one other thing before my quote and the end of the program. I saw a lot of former honorees in the audience tonight. Would you stand up and be recognized, because they are still making a huge difference. Okay, now for my quote. It's from John Gardner. And I would assume, whether they knew it or not, most of the women honored tonight and in the past have benefited by this particular quote. It has made a huge difference in my life. At some of the lowest, scariest times, this is a quote that I have referred to. John Gardner said, "We are continually faced with a series of great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as insolvable problems. And that has inspired me at some of my lowest, scariest times to look for that opportunity. And what I wish for everyone tonight is that as you face insolvable problems, that you look for that opportunity because it's there. Thank you for being here.